There is a big time problem brewing in the Maple Leafs crease. Like, let's just put it out there. I've been the biggest defender of Ilya Samsonov, man, but this guy's gone full Jack Campbell. 6 goals on 35. I thought he was dreadful. Like, the Leafs were shit, don't get me wrong. But there's probably a couple of those you need to stop. And then just the reactions after and the stare downs. And he's gone full goalie, like full Jack Campbell, man. And then on top of that, they don't make him available after the game. There's multiple reports on social media. He's like sobbing at his stall. Like, this guy has gone full Jack Campbell. And it's like, yeah, that's problematic because your number one goaltender is out for an extended period of
time. Yeah, I mean, you want him to find it. You don't want him to go down a dark hole. You want him to climb out. You want him to find positives. And I was on the fence over whether to pull him last night or not. There's positives and negatives to both scenarios. I don't want to hear that he's staring guys down and getting in his own head. And I mean, man, there can be so much friction from your day to day in the NHL when things aren't going well, especially at that position, and you're not handling it well. And it's creating, a snowball effect where it's just becoming this big black cloud over you. You feel tons of weight on your shoulders. You're getting frustrated. That makes you like retreat from the team. And like, those are all just bad paths to be going down. I want to see him more on a path like, you have your hiccups, but you're still working, staying positive. You know that it'll come. You're working with the goalie coach, little building blocks. You have games like, he's had it, his last start was better. And then these little hiccups just take him as that. But it seems like it's a bigger deal and he's struggling mentally right now. And that's a tough place to be for a goaltender. I hope he crawls out of it. But I really think that the only way, I don't know, it depends which direction he's going. You keep playing him and he's going the wrong direction. You can see a guy like really collapse, but how are you going to get him to play better and to get confidence if he's not actually playing? So it's a difficult place to be, and you don't have Joseph Woll to kind of bail you out. So yeah, there's some alarm bells going off, but I don't think it's the end of the world right now or just yet.
Yeah, but it's concerning because this is a team that thinks they're a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. And you have Joseph Woll, who's still pretty green at the NHL level. Granted, he's been great, but you need a second option, man. Like, I'm at the end with this thing. Like, I'm at a point where it's like, let's see what Martin Jones has. Is if Jones can string together a couple starts, in the next month or so that proves you can be an NHL goalie still, then I'm making decisions on Ilya Samsonov, whether it's trading this guy, sending him down. Like, it's just not working, man. Like, this is a long enough sample size and everything that when, transpired last year, much better defensive team last year. Like, I'm at wit's end with this guy. Like, I really am, because you see a lot of these goals go in. You don't even see them in the AHL. He has no confidence right now, zero. And I think you look plain and simple what the Oilers did with Jack Campbell, a bit of a different circumstance, but to hang your hat on this, and again, this team's going to make the Stanley Cup playoffs. They have zero faith in this guy. And spoiler alert, you're going to need both your goalies in the playoffs.
I'm not quite. I'm not quite there as far as you are with being completely done with him. I think there's hope. I think you bury him in the minors, and hope is really lost, man. I can't see in the, from Christmas on to get him in the minors, get him playing well, getting him back up, getting him starts, getting him, enough wins and solid games to get the confidence up to be a playoff goaltender that's going to help you out. That's a tall order. I think that you are cutting him loose and done with him if you put him in the minors. And I don't think that we have, reason to do that yet. I don't think his replacement is ready. I don't see a benefit in doing that. But like, it's definitely, give Martin Jonesy a look, no doubt. Play him, see if we can find something. We still want to rattle off points and keep this thing going, whatever this thing is. I guess it's a point streak, even though it's not nearly what it should be. But I'm not ready to bury him in the minors yet. I'm sitting here going, come on, Joseph Woll, get bloody healthy. And yeah, I still have faith that this guy can find some confidence and just have one of those big games that's just like, fucking right, I'm out of this nightmare.
Just want to get the money off the books. And let me tell you something, maybe the biggest piece of business Brad Treliving has done in his tenure so far is going to arbitration with Samsonov. Like, I'm pretty sure a multi-year contract was on the table, and the Leafs are like, nah, let's see what you got to get in a contract here. And man, oh man, that a very wise decision. They're walking this guy to UFA, and I think Brad Treliving might, pay his taxi and drive him to the airport when he leaves.
Jesus, maybe.
Am I being too harsh? I just, dude, this is the NHL, man. Like, you play hockey for a living and you make money for a living and you get paid significant money to stop the puck, and you're not stopping the puck. And again, this is a team issue. I'm not just pinning this on Ilya Samsonov. Like, it's unacceptable the way they came out, the way they played for the majority of that game. But if you're not getting a save, it makes the job that much harder. That's all I'm saying. And you played the game. I mean, you can speak to it a bit more.
Oh yeah, I mean, whatever problems are going on, whatever's going on up front with your skaters and your players, if you have a goalie that's just not stopping that puck and it is letting those 2 goals in a game that you just need stops, it's too important of a position. There's no hope, right? To win anything or to go on any sustained winning percentage with any longevity. Like, the goaltender is your most important player. And I don't know. I pay attention to his big stops, and I kind of let the weak ones go. And I think you're doing the opposite, which is fair because he's not playing well. He's not reliable. He's not at a playoff performer level by any stretch. And yeah, I'm glad we're not locked into him for 4 years. I just have some hope that he can find his way out of this. And I don't know, but he's had time to practice. He's had time to, play, get some big wins against some big teams, and to shut the door and have a convincing win against some shittier teams. And he just hasn't seemed to be able to do it. And, that happens. But what I'm more concerned about is how things are looking in the background with, where his head's at, him sobbing in his stall, staring guys down. It looks like mentally he's really struggling. I mean, that's the biggest obstacle for me, is for him to pull himself out of that, because there's no hope for him to get on track unless he can get his head right.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.